TheoTrade. This is Don Kaufman. It's July 11th, 2019, and you are watching the TheoTrade evening video. We're just a few minutes after the cash close. You know, the S&Ps today, well, they closed up just about 6 points. But I got to tell you, if you're looking at the S&Ps and you see some of the intraday kind of volatility over here, listen, you're just missing the bigger picture from today's trading session. Today's trading session is brought to you by the bond market. People, it's all right now about the bonds. And we've talked incessantly about the Fed, push them aside. Listen, there's a 30-year bond auction that occurred, and I'm going to jump right to it. You can see it's right at 10 a.m. Pacific time. There was no demand for this 30-year bond auction. If you will, the U.S. Treasury is auctioning off these bonds constantly. Today, no one showed up on the bid. That effectively means we're just not enough buyers. And it tanked the bond market, and it ignited volatility in the rest of the market. Let me actually show you. One of the first things that really stands out is, so what, Don? The bonds sold off a little bit. As you bring up a broader chart, obviously you could see that today's sell side activity, I mean, this was a shock to the marketplace. People, this is starting to look like some real sell side in these bonds. Now, for those of you that would recall, we have actually been layering on a number, of different types of back spreads, specifically in the TLT, looking for just this. We're looking for the big, 3 sigma kind of moves. And people, we are getting it in much shorter duration than we had anticipated. My TLT trade, that thing is on out in October. That back spread's out there in October. And we're already seeing like this almost 3 deviation kind of shock in here. And the one thing, and I'm going to explain why the bonds are so important here in a moment. But before I even get there, you got to zoom in to take a look at this. Look at the volume inside of this bond product. I mean, listen, it's July, like mid-July. This market is typically dead. These are the traders that actually just pack up. Let's go to the Hamptons. Not so much here. Monumental size is done in the bonds. Huge size also done in the notes. Again, this move, what did it do to the marketplace? First of all, that big bond shock was felt right, at the time in the announcement of the auction. The bond stayed down, again, 153 and 8 ticks. Now, the effect that was felt inside of the S&Ps was brief, right? So coming in right here is 10 a.m., you can obviously see some of the sell side activity that hit the broader markets. But then you're probably saying to yourself, it's okay, Dom, the market rebounded. Now, the reason that the market stabilized, I don't think rebounded is an effective word. The reason the market stabilized is the moment that the bonds sold off, it actually helped the financials. So this put like a stabilizing bid into the financials. But if you're looking again at the S&Ps, I think you're missing the broader picture. When the bonds got rocked, it really did damage to the monsters of tech. That is, your Amazon. Let's get really specific over here. Amazon felt the sell side activity, from this move in the bonds, and it didn't recover. This is where you're going to want to focus in just the days to come. Tech got damaged today. Again, the monsters of tech closed down about 0.3%, which is negligible. Like most of the time, like, oh, Don, they finished down 0.3%. Yeah, but they were up substantially on the trading day before a full-fledged kind of reversal ensued. The other aspects you want to look at, emerging markets, they did not like that. Higher interest rates, This, inside of the bonds, this is what it's all about in just the days to come. Any more sell-side activity in these bonds, again, especially at this kind of velocity, people are thinking to themselves, well, wait a second, higher interest rates. Now, this is longer duration higher interest rates. that might be okay for things. Not at the speed in which these bonds are selling off. Okay? We are on the cusp over here, people. This is, again, some extraordinary, some dangerous turf. I mean, net, you look at the tape today and you're thinking, not much happened, kind of summer trade, all right? And then you look again, when a bond auction occurs and there's nobody showing up to be on the bid, that is disconcerting to say the least. There's going to be substantially more to come specifically about this kind of failed bond auction in just the next couple of days. Again, any continued sell-side activity inside of the bonds from this point forward can only be construed as negative for the broader marketplace. Thanks everybody for joining us here at TheoTrade. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.